Yay Media Group.
Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS.
Okay, so I watched this thing over the weekend. I sent it to you, but you didn't watch it. What was it called?
I know, but I was busy.
It was called... Oh, my phone is being so slow. Okay. Former CIA spies... It's called Former CIA Spies Leaving the U.S. Before 2030. The CIA tried to ban this story. So this guy has a podcast. This is the name of the whole episode, so you can go look it up. And this is a 2.5-hour podcast episode with this couple that used to be in the CIA.
Okay.
And they go through basically how the CIA works and how their job works and what they did and what they found. But one of their most important missions was to find a mole from another country that had infiltrated the CIA. And they don't say which country, but the podcast host, his team, like flashes things on the bottom of the screen to kind of tell you what was going on at that time. Makes me think it was Russia.
Oh.
But there was a mole in the CIA, and they had to fish this person out. And it was the most fascinating thing you've ever seen. But I think something that intrigued me most was he doesn't give specifics, like names, because all of this stuff has to like run through the CIA before it's put out, I'm sure. And this guy, he owns some other company now, and he has a book that just came out. But there are very well-known companies in the U.S., household names, that are shells for the CIA.
Oh, really?
Yes. And he's like, that's how a lot of these operations are funded, is through these shell companies that everyone knows about that no one knows is a CIA company.
Oh, I would. Do you get to keep money? Because if so, I will create. You can weekly dose of BS. We will be a shell company.
I don't know.
Give us 10% of whatever.
Yes.
We're willing, selling our soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
It was the most fascinating thing. You have to watch it. It was, and then they kind of go into why they don't want to live in this country anymore.
Why do they not want to live in this country anymore?
Well, they just kind of said it was mostly like them specific, like after knowing what they know and all the stuff that happens behind the curtain, they don't want to live here.
But don't you think that's every country, or no? Maybe not. The older I get, the more I look at the people that run probably everywhere. I just look at them very different. I think they're all kind of not good people. I don't think you go into public service to be a public servant. I think you go in to see what you can get out of it for yourself. But I don't believe that that's the way that...
Well, they also talked about that, and that was a part of their issue, was public servant jobs, and they were talking about on the executive level. And they're like, we're not talking about one person specifically. We're talking about the executive level as a whole.
Yeah.
The executive level used to be if the country wanted to go to war, the president would say, we're going to war. Mm-hmm. But we now live in a country where if the president wants to go to war, we are all now forced to go to war. And how it's changed.
Yeah.
A lot from what it was initially set up as. They also very firmly believe that there is going to be a massive shift in the way our politics operate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That would not bother if it's a good shift. I don't know. I don't love politics as a whole. Like, all I want to do is make money in crypto this year. That's my only goal. Right. And be fun. And I'm already killing one of those goals. So crypto, come on. But I just don't think a lot of people are obsessed with politicians and they actually think they're like heroes. And I'm like, I just think all politicians are horrible. And I know people that are politicians. I don't think they're the best people.
I feel like everyone's so caught up on like Republican versus Democrat, but I think that is such a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at politicians and how they've flipped sides like of the party, it's like there's no difference in this side versus they're both just looking to get elected because they all make a lot of money.
Yeah, I would like to be a politician just for the insider trading.
Right.
But other than that, I'm good. But no, it's crazy. But yeah, I just don't. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
It was just fascinating. So one of them, they have different covers, and they kind of go through how they get into countries. But they have to go like establish lives. These people will go. So like, just giving you an example, they went to London and they opened a coffee shop, and they're like, you have to be very involved, and people know you own a coffee shop because that,
like, you're not hiding out.
No,
you are like
you're in it.
Okay.
And you establish this life, and they're a married couple, and they're a married couple there, and they have names, and then but you have to go from like London to say Dubai, then you go to Iran. You don't just go from US Iran. It's like a process to get to where you want to go. But you are one piece of like 12 pieces. So you don't necessarily know exactly what you're doing. Whenever you go to London, your job is to watch this person and report what they're doing to this person. And this person is telling this person, who is then doing this job.
Oh, there's
who's
no
finding,
way.
It's like a whole web.
I could not.
And they kind of at some point said like they figured out what they were doing and why they were doing it. But something else they point out, this podcast host, they were talking about just kind of like surveillance in these different countries. And they said, if you go, you, for example, if you go into some other country, there is certain countries, there is a good chance that you are being watched and followed because you're a public figure and it is known that you have some sort of wealth.
Interesting.
And they're watching to see what you're doing there and who you're meeting with and why you're doing it. And they were saying kind of over a certain like notoriety level and over a certain net worth, there is a 100% chance that you are being watched when you go into certain countries.
Okay, so we have a friend who Travis met at Harvard, and he is a big deal in Mexico, okay? And he told us that never take like a private plane to Mexico. He was like, because they have people, like like kidnapping's a big thing, I guess. And they have people that can like have facial recognition. And if you come up as like a big target, they will try to kidnap you. So he was like, then people that get off private planes are big targets. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's interesting. So but I don't have a private plane. So I'm not worried. I'm getting off American. They can't find me. I'm probably sitting in
17C.
Yeah, like by the crappers, middle seat. Like I'm very,
undetected,
very under the radar. But yeah, so I've kind of heard that you have to be careful, like in certain. But that like lives there, and he was like, yes, it's like a big thing.
Yeah, but it was so interesting, just the way it all works.
I don't know if I want to watch that because then it'll stress me out. Like things like that will keep me up at night.
I just like to know how things work and like how they operate, and it's not like it is in like James Bond. Like they're not like fighting crime and all this stuff. But there was a moment where this guy, one of his identities was compromised, and he found out it was compromised, and he had to get out of the country. But again, you can't just go from A to B. You have to go A to B to C to D to F. Like you have to go around.
Oh, which that is
and
also
so for
my
him
worst
to get
nightmare.
out,
a bunch of different connections.
Mm-hmm. And then he also said, this is interesting. What I mean, it kind of makes sense because you are really like devoting your life to the CIA. You have to like be approved to have kids.
Really?
Well, because you definitely don't want to have kids like when you're in the field.
Yeah.
So you have to be like fully out.
That's so crazy.
I know. It was very interesting.
Okay, so there's another show I did watch this weekend. Before you told me to watch yours, okay, I watch TV as I get ready. And it is on Netflix, and it is like about catfishing. I don't know if it's a top 10 or not, but I did watch it, and it is, you'll know, it's like some catfish thing on Netflix.
I've seen it.
And it is
on Netflix. No.
Did you see it? Okay, so it's like this show. It's got to be top 10 because it was crazy, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. But it's these two kids who, like, I think they're like 14, because I remember being like, that's Cruz's age. And they like boyfriend, girlfriend, they start getting these like text messages from this anonymous person, like really vulgar, nasty stuff to this girl and boy, right? It goes on for a while. Like, at some point it got like so escalating. The person texting them was telling them to like, they should end their life, and telling the girl that, like all these most horrible things you can say to somebody, right? So anyways, it gets to the point where it's so bad that the two moms go to the school, and I can't give it away. If you don't want to, if you're going to watch this, maybe, because I'll probably give it away. I can't promise you.
Well, that was their warning. Not give it away.
Yeah, so don't get mad. But the two moms go to the school and they show the principal and they're like, this is happening. Our kids are being harassed. Well, the people text messaging knew everything that happened, like what they wore to school, things that happened like at their sporting events at school that you have to be in their world to know about, right?
Was it the principal?
No. So wait, hold on. So then the principal's like, okay, I am going to start looking at, like, told the girl, like, and the boy, if you get a text message, immediately let me know during school, because I'm going to look on the cameras as soon as you get them to see if somebody's maybe in the hall, going to the bathroom, if I see somebody, because they're trying to figure out who this is, because the text messages become more and more concerning. Doesn't see anything, like, is really trying to figure it out. Gets to the point to where eventually they have to take it to, is it the FBI? Well, anyways, but yeah, like high up. I think it's the FBI. But God only knows. But like super high up, right? So they get involved and they start subpoenaing, like, because it's like an app where it changes your number, right? That this person's using. So the person's smart enough to where their phone number is never on there. But they can't figure out who it is because the phone numbers are from this app. So they subpoena this app, and then the FBI, and then they subpoena something else. Like the app gives them some locations, and they have to go to, I think, whoever the person's carrier is, to see who this person is. Well, come to find out, okay, now you want to turn it off if you don't want to know the ending. Come to find out, it is this girl. By the way, these people are saying you should end your life, saying horrible things about her and to this boyfriend. They ended up breaking up because it was so horrible, but the person kept going. It was the girl's mother.
What?
Yes. And I'm just like, as a mom, yes.
But didn't the parents go to the FBI?
Yes. No, the parents were like all about it, but it was like almost like Munchausen, but like in a weird effed up way where you're literally attacking your daughter and like having all these people. Yes, it was her the whole time. Now, she says that in the beginning it wasn't her, but then she wanted to know who it was, like the messages stopped, so then she took over to kind of see what it was. But I'm like, you said some horrible things to your daughter. So it's super interesting.
Whoa.
So then you see like them find out. So then you see the police footage of them going to her house, right? And she's thinking, she's still playing this game and they're going to figure out, and they pretty much say, we know it was you. She has to tell her daughter, you see that. Her daughter's like in total shock. Her daughter's like 14, 15 at the time. And then, but the poor girl, like obviously the mom goes to jail, right? Oh, she also has to tell her husband. But not only that, the police officers find out that she's been living a lie. Like she lost her job, like either 6 months to a year earlier. Her husband has no idea. So she's also pretending that she's going to work every day in IT. And she got fired.
Wow.
Yes. So she said she spent up to 8 hours a day harassing her daughter and this boy.
That is crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, no, I'm going to watch it.
Highly recommend. It was like, what? I'm kind of to that point where they're talking to her, but it's bizarre. But her poor daughter has to go back to school, right? Her mom's like all over the news and it's very widely known in the school because it was such a big deal for a whole year. So her daughter has to go back to school with her mom being this psychopath that was harassing her, and
Whoa.
yes, and this boy.
That is nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, I'm gonna watch it.
But she would find the boy would meet somebody else. She would find out who this girl was and start harassing the boy's new girl. I mean, she was just crazy to where, yes. So anyways,
nuts.
So watch that. That's really interesting. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And if you want to be stressed out, watch Trey CIA thing.
Yes.
But if you want to be stressed out but not feel like the world's coming to an end, watch mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, super interesting. So that's my tip for you. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Hollman on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast, and you can watch us on YouTube at We Could Host a BS. Bye.
Yay Media Group.